So yesterday we ended with this. We did finish example 1, didn't we? Right, so let's look at example 2. Over here, we said we would first need to, according to BODMAS, we know that we've got to sort out the brackets first. Now in the previous example, we couldn't simplify inside the brackets. But in this case, are we able to? Yes, because the 4x and the 2x are like terms. So I could go and add them. So meaning this would then be minus 2, and then I keep my bracket. And then 4x plus 2x is going to give me 6x. I could add because they were like terms. And now I can say minus 2 times the 6x will give me minus 12x. Any questions there? Okay, let's look at example 3. Now over here, what I had to do is this 3x, because it was in front of the bracket, I had to multiply that in to every single thing inside those brackets. So I had to multiply it with an x, and I had to multiply it with a y. Do you guys all understand that part? Okay. I hear music. Switch off and take out. Okay, so let's first do that part. Okay, so 3x times x is going to give me 3x to the power of 2. Right, now I'm going to say 3x times y will give me 3xy. Good. Okay, now this next part. Because this is written in front of the bracket, I have to multiply that into the bracket. And you will see that I do not just circle the 2y, I circle minus 2y because that sign is part of the 2y. Okay? So I'm going to say minus 2y times x and then minus 2y times minus y. Okay. Right, so minus 2y times x is going to give me minus 2xy. You can say 2yx. It's the same thing, but we always want our variables to be in alphabetical order because then you see your like terms easier and quicker. Okay, so always stick to alphabetical order. Are you still? Okay, no, you're not. Where did I lose you? Where I multiplied this in. Okay, so minus 2y times x, the minus will stay. In front of this x is actually a 1. Yeah, a plus and a 1. Yeah, so the minus 2 times 1 gave me minus 2. And y times x will be yx, but we don't write it as yx, we rather say xy. It's not wrong. Yes, next one, yeah. No, we're going to say, so we multiplied those two now. So now we're going to say minus 2y times minus y. And the minus 2 times the minus 1 is going to give me positive 1, but we don't have to write the 1. And y times y, y to the power of 2. Not. Okay, it's the same as breaking it up and saying this. So if you look at that bottom part, we're going to say minus 2y times x minus 2, and you can say yx. No? Okay. And then minus 2y times minus y. Now the minus times the minus gives me a plus. That 2 times, there's actually a 1. 2 times 1 gives me 2. Ooh, that 2 I forgot, yeah. And that's why you look like this. Sorry. And the y times y gives me y squared. Sorry, it's because I left out, I didn't write that 2. Say again, if? Okay, listen. I'll show you. He's asking, so let's change this one at the bottom because it's easy. We can just do that. Let's say we had, and this is just, he wants to see what the difference would be. Let's say there was a 2 in front of this y. Right? Then it would have been minus 2y times x gives me minus 2xy. Now, then minus 2y times minus 2y, the minus times the minus, a positive. 2 times the 2, 4. Y times the y to the power of 2. Okay, you guys fine? Okay, right. So is everyone fine up until there?
Yes, sir.
Now, once we've got rid of all the brackets, now think of BODMAS, brackets, then it's of, we don't have, division, we don't have, multiplication, we don't have, addition. So now we've got to add and then subtract, but what do we know? When we add or subtract, we can only add or subtract what? Like terms. Okay, so we're going to say, is there any other terms that has got x squared? No. Okay, so that one we can't just throw away. It's going to stay 3x squared. Okay. Yeah, man, too. There we go. Okay. Now, let's look at the xy's. I've got 3xy minus 2xy. So 3xy minus 2xy will mean 1xy. The unknowns stay the same when we add or subtract, no? So I'm going to say plus 1, we don't have to write, but if you want, x, y. Okay, then what was left here? Plus 2y squared. And that is then the final answer. I couldn't go any further than that because none of those are like terms. So that is fully simplified. Okay, I can take your phone if you want. Put the earphones down. People, I'm talking too much about this. Right, can I skip?
Yes.
Any other questions here? Please make sure that you fully understand before we start the homework, no? Okay, last one. Now, I specifically made it a bit more difficult. So, let's start with this first part. Oopsie. With that part. What are we going to do? The 2, we're going to multiply into that bracket. No? You guys fine with that? Okay. Oh, no, wait. The last part is a bit difficult. We could do one just now. So 2 times x will give me 2x. Then 2 times 4 will give me 8. Good. Now, what must I do here? There we go. Even though nothing is written here, there's actually a minus 1. No. Yeah, the minus was there. It's just the 1 we don't always write. So when nothing is written there, you assume that it's a minus 1. If that was a plus, you assume that it's a plus 1. Okay. So minus 1 times x will give me minus 1x or just minus x. No. Okay. Minus 1 times minus 8 is going to give me, there we go, plus 8, because a negative times a negative gives me a positive. Okay? Then, now this last part is what I was talking about. I'm going to write my minus. Now let's first look at this. No, you're making the mistake that I want to talk about now. He's saying, isn't it a plus? Because he automatically thinks that, okay, those two should make a positive, right? Okay? Which, listen, which would have been true if there wasn't that little square up there. So I first got to sort out that square. So let's just look at that. That is, it looks like this, minus x squared. There. Okay, and then let's put that other negative in front of it. Okay. So if I were to write that out along a method, it's going to look like this. Minus x minus x. Because what that little 2 means is I've got to multiply this bracket with itself 2 times. Do you guys agree? Okay, so let's stick to that minus in front. BODMAS tells me first sort out your bracket. So what I've got to do now is I've got to multiply these two with each other. And a negative, meaning that negative, times this, times that negative is going to give me how much? A positive. And x times x squared. And now what's going to happen here? So that's going to be minus x squared. So do you guys see how I get to that last bit? Okay. Yeah. You don't have to. Some of you might be comfortable with skipping from here to there. But if you're not, like I did now, write it on the side somewhere. Okay. Okay. Right. Now we must simplify. So let's look for like terms. Are there any normal x's? I've got 2x and I've got minus 1x. So 2x minus 1x will give me 1x or just x. Oh, this pen. Okay, then 8 plus 8 will give me 16. Come now. Oh, this pen. 16. And then what was left? What haven't we used? Minus x squared. Okay. Any questions, people? That's the final answer, yes. Okay. Do you guys think that you would be able to do this? Okay. Right. Hands up, we're still copying here. Okay. There is your homework, exercise 2.4. That is on page 23. You're going to do the full exercise. Now, number 1 up until 4. Okay? Are you done? Okay. Sorry? If you are done, then you are allowed to carry on with other work. You're not allowed, however, to talk. Okay? You can lie on your arms or you carry on with other work if you're done.